Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pulse of Spokane. Today, I'm with Jessica from Sweet Frostings. Jessica, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And can you just get into what is Sweet Frostings?
Well, Sweet Frostings is a specialty bakery. We specialize in cakes, cupcakes, dessert bars, all the things, weddings, events. We do planning and all the things for you.
Oh, well, perfect. Sounds great. And you actually won quite a few awards recently, too, right?
Did.
You want to elaborate on what those are?
Yeah, well, you have a magazine that's Spokane
Yes.
Coeur d'Alene Living, the Women in Business Leadership Award, and then I also won the SBA Young Entrepreneur of the Year
Congratulations on
Award.
that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a great couple months.
Yeah, I would say so. Just that hard work, it has been paying off now, and you're one of the leading women entrepreneurs here in town. So congratulations on all of that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been really cool to see the people who won. They're like, financial advisors and all these people who are just so amazing.
Such an integral part of the team that runs a business.
Right. Yeah. A lot.
And you guys actually started here in Spokane, right?
We did, yeah. We opened up in Spokane in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and I and just a couple other people. So we started with like 4, and now we're at like 40.
Wow, that is incredible. Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
And what would you say is the most important part about running a small business? Is it one answer, or is it multiple answers? Is it people? Is it organization? What is it?
It's multiple answers, like a business isn't just one thing. It's so many things. You have to be, marketing, you have to be good at customer service, you have to provide a solution to a problem. You have to be all of these things at once, and they have to work together and communicate together, and it's a lot of moving parts, but it's fun. It's a fun challenge that I get to solve every day.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And could I ask, if you know the answer, why your mother started Sweet Frostings itself?
Yeah, she would take me, a little 13, 14-year-old, with her on business trips. She worked in bakery for 30-some years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she started when she was about, 16, 17 in bakery, grocery store, just working in it. She worked her way up. She was a cake decorator and ended up being a salesperson for some of the major companies, milling companies in the country. So she sold mixes and supplies to grocery stores where she started at. So
Okay.
she ended up selling the product that they made, and she would show them how to use it, and she would, teach them, the do's and don'ts of everything. And she realized that people were only buying the cheapest product out there, not the best product.
Not the
out
highest
there.
quality product.
Yeah, there was a lot of product that had things that were not necessarily edible. Some things that might be illegal in other countries because they're in the same ingredients as like defrost,
No.
chemicals. Yeah, so that's what you find at the grocery store, and that's why our product is so different. People can taste it. They can tell there's something
You
different.
can smell it when you come right into the
Yeah.
to the Sweet
The bakery,
Frostings.
yeah.
Bakery. That's the word. And it
That
just
doesn't
smells so sweet. Like, compared to a Rosar's bakery, which is still fresh. But
Yes.
you guys just, best bakery smell in town. Congratulations, by
Thank
the way.
you. Yeah, and nothing against, grocery stores. I go to grocery stores. It's not like I don't. But there's, just certain products that they buy and use that we decidedly don't. And we like to say that we make like your grandma used to. We bake with some of my grandma's recipes even. And all of that includes real butter, real cream. We're not using alternatives unless, vegan products. We do use alternatives. But essentially, we just use the best.
You use the highest quality so that you can give that to the consumers, and the consumers are satisfied with that, and they're actually eating something that's not dangerous.
Exactly. and those products are much more expensive, and that's why groceries don't go that route. They're selling, they're trying to sell it at the lowest cost, the highest volume, and a lot of it has to be shelf stable. And while our buttercreams can be considered shelf stable, they are made with butter and cream and don't stay good for months or even weeks on end.
Yeah, you have to use it or else it will go bad.
Yes, and we bake fresh every single day.
That's
so
wonderful.
you have a fresh product when you buy it from us. It doesn't live more than 48 hours, whereas if you go to other places, they'll have it for 3, 4, 5 weeks. They'll have it for a very long time. But there's chemicals in there that keep it from going bad.
Yeah, the artificial chemicals.
Exactly. You know, the antifreeze and all that that's in there.
All the good stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And as with any commodity selling shop or business, the pandemic really hit you guys hard.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, you couldn't avoid it, really.
Any business. I mean, any sector other than probably Uber Eats and some of those other third-party vendors, you guys took a hit.
Yeah, you know, we went back to starting. We really had to reinvent our business. Essentially, we were running for about 9 years when it hit, and so once it hit, we were full production. We were just getting built up to get into wedding season, and it affected a lot of people in events. So my husband works in events as well, and bars, restaurants, things like that. So when that happened right before the big season, you're fully staffed, you're fully equipped, you got all this stuff ready, and then shut it all down.
Yeah. And
my mom and I really had to look at each other and decide what are we going to do? There's so much question mark in the air of what are our options right now? What's safe? My mom is in her 60s, and I was concerned for her safety as well, with the pandemic. And so, we butted heads. We didn't agree on what to do. And I'm glad she won that fight in the end, because I was so scared. And acting on fear, I don't think is ever really a good decision.
No, acting on emotions, because you got to separate logic from emotions,
exactly.
Especially in the business world. Too.
Yes, exactly. And thank God for my mother. I don't know what I would do without her. But yeah, she was like, you know what, you can go home. I'm staying. So we were in it together at that point. Each department had one person working, and we made it work. We waited for orders to come in or to not come in, and we took.
Was the public pretty receiving in or stepping up to help Sweet Frosting survive?
Spokane has a great community of people who want to support small business, and you also want to support others as well. We have people who, essentially we were like, who wants to work, who wants to stay, and who wants to go home, because essentially there's a lot of different opinions and comfortability working around people, and we have a big area, so people could be 6 feet apart. And, we're a small business, and we had to make kind of a decision, are we essential as a company? How can we be essential as a company? And those were kind of those big questions that we had to ask. And part of that was making bread. We went to the grocery store, and there was no bread on the shelves. So we decided to start making bread. We got the butter, we got the milk, we got the flour. Let's make bread.
And was that a successful commodity?
It was. People were excited to have a reason to come in, even if they weren't necessarily wanting to buy cupcakes at the time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They couldn't find bread at the grocery store. And then we also started a pay it forward program where people could buy a loaf of bread for someone else.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so we reached out to some families who, they may have been getting a couple meals a day at school who were no longer, and now they have all these kids at home and no job and all these things going on. So we did a pay it forward program. We had a couple people come in who heard about it and were, I've got all my kids with me. Can I get a loaf of bread? And we're like, yeah, we've got 4 paid forward. How many do you want? Just kind of offering that to other people was really.
And you're helping the community, which is fantastic.
It was really rewarding. It was really fun to do.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And now, today, you guys have survived the pandemic. And, obviously you've learned some lessons from that. Moving forward, where do you see this company going?
We've survived. My goal is to thrive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Most people have survived, and we're still dealing, and we're gonna be for the next 5, maybe even 10 years of cost of goods, and that has many factors, not just the pandemic, but butter, for example, in the last couple months has gone up 60% cost-wise.
Yeah, inflation.
and everything that we make includes butter. And then wages, we're in a crisis. This is almost as big as the pandemic of lack of employees. That's cross industries, that's not just us. But that's, all sorts of things. When the trucking companies can't find people, our cost of goods
Your
goes up
supplies
more.
cannot get delivered, and then at the same time, if gas is going up, then they're going to charge more, and it's just everything's connected.
Yes, exactly. So because of all those factors, because of the growing season, because of the trucking, because of the gas, it all makes everything go up so much. And as a bakery, we already are a small margin industry. So a lot of bakeries, a lot of restaurants, a lot of food in general, it's going up, and we all can tell. But this is just really the beginning, because all of our people that we buy from are telling us, you should probably adjust your prices like weekly, because things are all over the place. And as a product that's not a necessity, essentially, it's tough to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to change our prices every week. So really, we have to watch our costs of goods and our labor, and we have to watch all of this much more meticulously than we ever had to in the past.
Previously, just because of the economy, the way it's going.
Yeah.
And hopefully, though, it starts to stabilize within the year or the next couple years, and then you guys are able to take off and thrive in this.
Yeah, and that's, we have the business. It's keeping up with, like I said, the cost of goods, the hiring. By the way, Sweet Frostings is hiring. We're looking for very talented cake decorators, bakers, salespeople, people who enjoy specialty baked goods and have a passion for it. So I'm going to get my plug in there. For employees, I have an amazing management team who are just so fun to work with. We have music nights as a team. We've been really working on some fun team bonding stuff. So
well, I'm glad you guys have that's in management there, so that when you guys get on board with new employees and start growing, the clock can keep turning, and you guys can keep expanding, or whatever your goals are for the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Final thoughts. Do you have anything or any advice for young entrepreneurs out there who are wanting to start their own business, especially young girls?
Yeah, I mean, confidence, so important. Not every girl growing up has a lot of confidence. I know I didn't have a ton, but just being okay with making a wrong decision is the first step to making a decision. Like, you can't be afraid of failing, because you're gonna, no matter what, there's gonna be wrong decisions.
Failure's a part of life.
It is, and you learn so much more from failing than you do from succeeding. We always say it's a day of learning, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So, just having confidence in yourself, and it's a mountain and a roller coaster. You're going to go up and you're going to go down, and it's not going to always be linear success. So,
Indeed. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the Pulse of Spokane.
Yeah.
We were so excited to do this again, just because you won all these awards, and at the same time, your success is the community's success.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming down and doing this with me. That's awesome.
Thank you. We appreciate it too. And thank you for joining in. Have a great day.
We are slowly coming out of a great uncertainty. How long can we sustain government spending? And how has government increased regulation affected the free market? Join ABC, Spokane Home Builders, and Star Financial. Host a breakfast panel, State of the Free Market. 3 Washington Policy Center experts to share the most accurate accounting of what is happening with the free market in Washington State. Get your tickets today. SpokaneFreeMarket.com. Paid for by Spokane GOP.